Hi, Heather.
Hi there, this is Dana Berkes, and she's joining us for an episode of Art Unites Us.
I'm so excited to be here to talk about all the great things that Arts United and NIPSCO are working on together.
All right, so before we get started, I would love to hear a little more about you personally and your involvement with arts and culture in our community.
I'm a fantastic patron. You can see me at most plays and concerts in town. They are a great way to spend Saturday nights and Sunday afternoons. Fort Wayne's got a lot going on. I'm a proud Fort Wayne resident. I love experiencing all of the things that are happening in the community. I'm just so glad that organizations like Arts United and all of the arts organizations across the region are making this a place to really grow and live and support just a great community.
I know you're the Public Affairs and Economic Development Manager, and so can you just tell me a little bit more about that role and how it ties into what NIPSCO is doing in our community?
Sure. At NIPSCO, our purpose is to deliver safe and reliable energy to our customers in the 30 counties in northern Indiana. There are 4 in my position across NIPSCO's northern Indiana territory. We are essentially stakeholder managers. So we are responsible for supporting local elected officials and town managers, economic developers, chambers, emergency managers, and last but not least, the nonprofits that are doing the impact work across the communities that we serve. We manage the corporate citizenship budget, which is really our way of giving back to the communities we serve. Being good corporate citizens is a big piece of what we do. Our employees live and work in northern Indiana. Our customers are the residents of the communities that we serve. And so NIPSCO gives back as a big piece of what we do as a good corporate citizen. That comes in both grants, so contributions to organizations that are aligned with the giving areas that we support or we've deemed are important to our business and our communities. And then also volunteerism is a core piece of giving back. And so last summer we did street murals at Bridge of Grace as part of Charity of Choice, our Summer of Volunteerism event, and then the contributions that support the organizations that are doing the great work. And we do that by partnering with organizations like Arts United to make sure that those projects and programs you guys are doing, that you're making happen every day, that we can support them both with funding and with employee volunteer time.
So I know one of those examples that we can talk about is the Taste of the Arts Festival, and NIPSCO and the NiSource Charitable Foundation have been long partners of that. So can you just talk a little more about what excites you to be a part of that particular event?
We have been supporting Taste of the Arts and Arts United for a number of years. I remember a couple of years ago, we sat down and we said, NIPSCO supports STEM and energy education, economic and workforce development. Those are really the 2 key areas that align with what Arts United is doing. We said, arts and culture is not one of the giving areas that we support. We need to find a way to connect this so that it makes sense for NIPSCO and NiSource Charitable Foundation, but also for the community that we serve. And so we brainstormed and said, how about if we make it STEAM Park? Because STEM and energy education, as kids are growing up and as communities are looking at STEM, art really weaves through all of science, technology, engineering, and math. And so took it to the arts organizations that really are the ones that are volunteering, creating booths, those activities that people are coming out to experience. And they said, we think we can do this. Arch comes out and brings building blocks. And so you can come and you can build a building, which connects with that historic preservation, but also brings the engineering and the architecture piece to that demonstration. And so we just thought it was a great opportunity to drive that impact in the giving areas that we're supporting, but also make sure those longstanding institutional events that are just really making Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana strong continue to happen, and they align with what we're looking to do as an organization.
That's great, and we appreciate your partnership on that and also being able to collaborate with you to make our events that we're bringing to the community even stronger and even better. So our 2 organizations have recently partnered to bring a new grant program here to our community. This program is focused on bringing arts and culture activity and really neighborhood activation to the southeast quadrant of Fort Wayne. So could you just share a little bit more about what really piqued your interest in being a part of this program?
Yeah, absolutely. As a utility, economic development is a really big piece of what we do. Energy is a piece of what businesses need to grow and expand. And so Economic development, it supports our business because it grows the base load, the utilities grow, it lessens the risk for all of our customers within the territory, and it also supports a community. GFW and the City of Fort Wayne looked to put together their growth plan for the next few years. The Allen County Together Plan was born, the ACT plan. Within that, there are 3 pillars. The third pillar is inclusivity. That includes some bold goals for Southeast Fort Wayne, $100 million in catalytic investment by the end of 2026, up that to $250 million by the end of 2031, and 2,500 net new jobs. Now, we know people live and work where they are connected and where they feel community. And so this neighborhood grant really was an opportunity for us to come alongside economic development and support the neighborhoods and the community connections that are growing up in Southeast Fort Wayne.
And I think what's so exciting about the program for me is that it's going to be open to organizations that are doing great work in that area, but also to individuals and neighborhood associations who will be able to bring arts and culture to their community to create a real sense of community.
When people and neighborhoods and organizations come together to say, what do we need to do? What's next? What can we do? And so this is an opportunity really to say, we have some funding, we have some opportunity. How can we help build those neighborhood connections in a meaningful way?
So we know from the Americans for the Arts that the arts really help to enhance people in ways that are directly related to employability through things like problem-solving skills, critical thinking, related into your world and what you do. How do you think the arts really help to shape people in our community in that way?
People make up communities. They are the foundation of why we exist. Jobs and housing and government and community and art, they all are critical pieces. And so as you build economic development, community development has to come alongside because it is growing the people who are the future workforce, whether that's at Taste of the Arts, at a booth where somebody's going to be inspired by an instrument they play or an activity they experience, to that person who's looking for a new opportunity in the workforce and maybe connect with a utility career or with an arts career, or perhaps they do both. So economic development, community development really are aligned together. I mean, I think art is the thread that weaves through every community and every society, right? Ultimately, we're storytellers at heart. We connect through songs and stories, and we're seeking to share ourselves with others because as humans, we need to connect with each other. And art gives us that foundation and that opportunity to really do that.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.